Ladies and gentlemen, recovering emo kids, welcome to Emo Kids Anonymous. I'm your host, Robb. Unfortunately, my co-host, Amanda, could not join us. She will be back shortly, so in the meantime, you're kind of stuck with me. Now, we got a hell of an interview today with one of the honestly coolest indie bands I've heard in years. Their new record, Pleaser, is going to be in my top 10, most likely in my album of the year list that drops shortly over at neverphasenetwork.com. Super cool band, a band you can get behind politically, musically, personally. They're pretty bitter. And they're surprisingly not that bitter as people, actually. They're absolute sweethearts. But before we get to that, let's handle some business, okay? Need you to do me a favor, subscribe to the pod, follow, like, you can find us, Emo Kids Anonymous, at Emo Kids Anonymous over on TikTok, Instagram, Emo Kids Anon Pod on Twitter, neverphasenetwork.com. I personally today released my Emo All-Stars of 2025 list. By the time you see this will be 2 days ago, but I released my Emo All-Stars, the 11 bands that I think had the best year. I also did the Freshman 15 list, which is a new thing. These are like the top prospects or the rookies of the year, the bands that I think are going to just have the best, 2026 in our scene, So these are things I'm going to be doing yearly. So these are the first annual ones, but we've gotten a cool reception on them so far, and it'd be awesome if you guys could check that out. Now, before I get to the interview, got to handle one more piece of business. Now, as you know, 1 in 3 men, they say, ignore their skincare routine completely. Let me just say, I don't believe that. I think it's like 9 out of 10 men, okay? I don't know if we're just lazy or like it's some toxic masculine bullshit or just forgetful. I don't know. I'm in there too as well. But at the end of the day, I ain't trying to look like a fucking catcher's mitt, okay? And I'm sure you don't want to look like that either. Well, guess what? Thanks to our pals over at Protégé. That's right, Protégé. Good boy protection for bad bros. They have a special all-in-one face cream that is willing to take care of all that shit for you, okay? You don't gotta need some fancy, expensive routine. You go over to Protégé.com. You enter Emo Kids at checkout. Are you following along? EMOKIDS at Protégé, BROTEGE.com. That's a lot of spelling. That's a lot of spelling for a guy that dropped out of community college. You guys owe me. Anyways, you go over to Protégé.com, you enter Emo Kids, you get your first bottle of Protégé for only $10. $10. You can't get fucking anything for $10 anymore. Even just listening to this, you're about to get blasted with some ads for some face serums and stuff like that. They're going to cost you a couple $100. I'm giving you the same damn thing for $10. And it's not just me. You know the people over at Protégé. I know Gabe Saporta. Okay, these are good people over there. I wouldn't lead you astray. So go over to Protégé.com, Emo Kids at checkout, $10. Now, that being said, again, this interview with Pretty Bitter, one of my favorite ones we've had here, both funny and interesting, and also just like, at the end of the day, music, art is inherently political, life is inherently political, and this is a band that understands that. And on top of making music that I would describe as some of the best, like, 2000s era Coachella core, Spin Magazine, dream pop, indie music, they're also, honestly, in an essence, ethically, and how they handle themselves, punk as fuck, really. And I think you're going to love this conversation. We dive into, the history of DC hardcore, obviously their beliefs and their history as a bands and the incestuous way all their bands in DC link together. It's a great conversation. You're going to love it. Without further ado, this is Pretty Bitter.
It's a fair assessment.
The first time I meet someone, I'm just like, "Hi, you did something wrong. Can you leave?" I'm like, it doesn't feel like I don't like it. Anyways, hi, I'm Robb. My co-host Amanda is on a bit of a sabbatical for a couple weeks, just sorting out some family stuff and the like. But so you're stuck with me, but that's okay because I'm the #1 Pretty Bitter stan here. So.
Nice. Also, Jason is on his way. He should be requesting soon. He said
Cool.
Be right there like 2 minutes ago. So
Cool. So, Mel, Miri, am I saying those names right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hello.
perfect.
Hi.
Okay. Perfect. So, welcome to Emo Kids Anonymous, obviously. For our listeners who aren't in the know, can we do like a brief overview of Pretty Bitter before we dive in too deep?
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty Bitter started in its current iteration in 2021 with the release of Hinges,
Yes.
which which we wrote and recorded and released during lockdown over COVID-19.
And we asked Jason to join shortly, like in the middle of the recording of Hinges. So Jason's not on Hinges, unfortunately.
A little bit. He's on one track.
Oh yeah, he's on one track. The rest of it was done by our former synth player Zach.
Okay, he was kind of your multi-instrumentalist until this last year, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So he did God, what are all the he plays drums and
Well, he
guitar.
programmed the drums.
Yeah,
We should
yeah.
say he did play the drums.
True.
But
He
yeah, there's, like,
famously doesn't play the drums, but programs drums very well.
Sick. I get it. Jason, I'm so sorry. I literally just had to do this.
Oh no.
Is your phone like this or is it like
They
this?
fucked up. You want to be like this?
Yeah, but
Oh.
it won't switch. You need to leave and then come back and do it. This is this is like a bad Abbott and Costello. Yeah, you gotta leave and then come back with it like that. Sorry.
Jeez. And this is
Fucking hate
all
this.
this is an app, right? This
Right?
is like
It's so
better.
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's like everything else in the world realizes when your phone switches, but this
crazy.
yeah. We're putting in you literally see what I hate it.
Crazy. Goodbye.
Anyways, okay, as we were.
Yeah. So we had started writing Hinges like right after lockdown started. And wrote it mainly. Yeah, cool. Wrote it mainly Miri and Zach and I. And well, actually, all Miri,
was
Zach, and I.
completely-
Yeah, it was all the three of us. And then as soon as lockdown lifted, we were kind of trying to figure out like where we wanted to go from there. And Jason had already agreed to be in Pretty Bitter. We'd known each other for like 6-7 years, or no, like 5-6 years before I guess like inviting him in. And it was the best decision we ever made, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and before Jason joined Pretty Bitter, Jason and I had played in a few different projects together, and we had like jammed a bunch together at local jam sessions and whatnot like that. And so we knew we already like kind of had this musical chemistry together, and that was a big reason why Jason was brought into the band.
And I also played with Zach B for
That's
years
true.
as well, separately.
Because I was gonna say, weren't the two of you in a band before as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So Miri and I were in a band before Pretty Bitter, and then Miri and Jason were in a band together before Pretty Bitter, and then
Zach
Jason and Zach.
were
Yeah.
a totally different band. Yeah, and so it all just kind of came together.
DC music is very.
I was gonna say this is
impressive
it's
with-
a
yeah, with
DC
members.
thing, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like before or after our time. I haven't been able to tell. Did you ever go to is it the Charm City?
So are you talking about the Meadery in Baltimore?
It's in Baltimore, right? It's in Baltimore there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking to Ryland about it recently from Origami Angel, because I was like, I'm like, oh, combat, this and that, like Baltimore, DC, like you guys seem to have these such like tight scenes in this and that. And he's like, oh no, that shit closed before like any of us. No, we never saw any of that kind of thing. So I was like, I can't get any info on it. But
Yeah,
is
I
it
never
kind of a
experienced
similar? Is it a similar thing in DC where it's just kind of like intertwined? All the bands are friends, a lot of collectives, house shows, and the like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is that like the Baltimore and DC scene are pretty separate actually in terms of
Interesting.
that. No, like we're very close and there is some overlap, but like it's in terms of like band members like kind of finding each other and hanging out and forming different projects. It's like there is sort of a separation from Baltimore
Okay.
to DC in that
So it's like a
sense.
similar place where you're swapping around shows and networking and stuff, but like you're not, you're not within bus rides of each other and things like that.
They're both small towns disguised as big cities.
Interesting. Okay. So I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. We were just talking about Pretty Bitter over in our Discord channel, and can I just repeat a few of the things that have been said about you in general? And these are feelings that I back up as well. They're just very interesting, like people's first reactions to, and I think it's really cool because we talk with a lot of bands, but like this one, like the reaction you guys is so interesting and special. Hold on, let me give you a couple here, where it's just like Sorry. I adore this album. It's one of those bands where you can hear 10,000 different influences at once, but they don't sound exactly like any band. There's so much yearning and joy and sadness in this. It feels like eating a healthy meal that tastes good. It excites my brain and deserves a deep listen. Sorry. Next up, this is Fire. I forgot to mention earlier, I've never heard of them before. And I told her, I was like, this is very you-coded. 100%, 1,000,000,000% for me. I can feel the obsession starting. Already added to my library. It gives me indie Portishead vibes. Someone else said the Smiths, the Postal Service, REM. Like it's all over this place. Like when I describe you guys, I'm always like, it's this 2000s-ish Coachella core spin magazine, really good indie rock, dream pop, this and like that's how I describe it. But in general, like, what are the main influences when you started this band compared to, the previous bands you guys are in? Was there any conscious effort to be like, we want this band to sound like X, Y, and Z? Or is it just kind of, this is a culmination of you as individuals?
So that's an awesome question. I'll start, but I also like really want Jason and Miri to talk more on this. I think that like a big thing for us is that we like, while obviously like we have significant influences as individuals and some that overlap as a group. I think that a big thing for us is like going into every writing session unconcerned with genre, like really, really purposefully, where it's kind of like we're going to write what we want to write. We're going to make it sound the way we want to make it sound. I mean, as much as you physically can. And then whatever people take from that, whatever genre people associate with us after that, like that's, once it leaves our containment, it's kind of on you to figure out what we are, because we don't really fucking know. But we do know that we're making what we want to make. And like that's kind of always been the cornerstone for us, because we all have, like, again, there's overlap as there always is, but we all have vastly different music taste on like what we're listening to on the day-to-day. Where like growing up, the people who made me want to start making music were like Rilo Kiley and Death Cab and like a ton of like Frightened Rabbit was a huge one for me. No One the Whale was big for me. Into It Over It was big for me. So they're like, that's for me, but also we have such different ones. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think honestly, like I don't like talking about personally where my influences come from towards this band, because I think that kind of sometimes ruins the illusion. And because if we're being like entirely honest, like my music taste is like kind of like objectively bad.
Sick. I feel you there.
And so there's also this really interesting thing that happens because of sort of how we write music and how songs come into being, where it's like I'll lay down an idea on the guitar and the bass. I'll have like a guitar part and a bass line kind of in my head, and I'll put those down and I send those over to like Zach B. And Zach puts a synth part on there and like some other crazy stuff that turns it into a whole different idea than what I was thinking that was going to be. And I think a really good example of this is Bodies Under the Rose Garden on Pleaser, where it's like that bass and guitar part started with just like me and Mel literally right here on the couch, with like I was doing that little riff as like an exercise, not even just like practicing absentmindedly. I wasn't even thinking about writing, but Mel heard me doing that and was like, oh, that's really sick, record that as an idea. And so I did, and I didn't really have anything in my mind as to where that was going. I was like, this is just me noodling. I don't really know, but I did it. And then Mel started coming up with sort of like a melody around it. And then once we sent it off, and then Zach put his thing on it, and it turned into a whole different thing. And that's the one where we get a lot of like Postal Service, reminiscence, I guess. Which was like, again, not my intention at all when I was first writing that riff. When I was first playing that riff, that's not where my brain was at all. So it's the way we write also kind of has a lot of impact on how things come to be.
Also, I forgot Pavement and Spoon, and those are important to me. I'm so sorry.
Can't miss the pavement one. I get it. Okay.
But I want Jason's though, because those are
Yeah.
fun for me.
I'm very much like Miri, where I don't really. The thing is like, yeah, we have like different musical backgrounds and influences, and I just think while we all have that, I think when we hear like an idea, it might get twisted or whatever, but it's like the goal is something coherent. So it's not like something overly ironic where I'm like, oh, I hear this, like I think this would be hilarious if I just like played a beat that like technically makes sense. It's like there's not there I don't really, I think it's like when you hear something, it's like any experience I have with like any type of music that is of a genre that I hear someone maybe reaching for, I'm empathetic or sympathetic to, and I try to, put my best foot forward in that direction to do something creative and different, but also not just co-opt the situation to be like, oh, I'm gonna use the drums to like make this like a hard direction like this way. Or I know that, I know what's anticipated about what I'm gonna do is gonna be like this. So I'm purposely gonna do it's not gonna be the total, like, because then you're just listening to like mush or lump or like you're
Yeah.
just listening to
Well,
a mess. So it's like, just like, drawing from those influences, but then being more focused on whatever someone's brought to the table,
Mhm.
and just trying to use whatever all those influences are just a vehicle to try to get that idea to its most, actualized like form. I think that's like my approach. But yeah, I definitely don't know most of those bands Mel just mentioned. I've never heard of them.
Sick.
And so it's just kind of like that, honestly.
I really like the sentence he just said. Yeah, all of those influences are just a vehicle to get something to its most
Right?
actualized form.
Yeah.
I want that on a t-shirt.
That's good. Yeah, it's like they're just tools. Like I can't remember. There's a quote with it's like they're just tools, and you accumulate tools now to use them, and then you just
Right.
the song serves itself. You kind of almost know what should go there and what you want to put there, and it's like
Right.
these are
And it's
loosely. You're
not
not
even
like
always a
this is Death Cab.
car as a vehicle analogy to take it one step further. It's not always even a car. Sometimes it's a bus. It gets you in the area, the
Yeah,
general regional
sick.
area of where we're trying to go. Maybe not right there, but yeah, so yeah, because I mean, they know that a lot of my influences are literally just like rap and like fusion, and just I really never got into like not like got into indie music, but I really was never really exposed to it in that way. Um, so it's just, but obviously rock and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not as nuanced as like synth dream pop. Like I was in a
Yeah.
dream pop band with Zach B, but I never listened to it. So it's
Sick.
like I don't know. So
Okay, so I don't want to expose too much of the objectively bad taste, but in general, across the board, who was the band or artist that made you individually like? Maybe it's the one that made you want to pick up a guitar or a bass or drums when you're a teenager. Maybe it's the one when you're like 8 or 9 that makes you go like, "Holy shit, music is magical." But what's that? What's that artist that maybe personally is you would say the reason you started doing this in the first place? If there had
The
to be
reason
one.
I played bass is because of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
no, that's not unfortunate at all.
dude, rip shit on that bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Ashley Simpson.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, we can just expose me even further. Why not? Yes, the first concert I ever went to was an Ashley Simpson concert, and that was a formative experience for me, for sure.
That's sick. That's sick. Pieces of Me era, Ashley.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful. That was a special time. That's a good gateway artist too. Like into just like it seems so bubblegum pop, but like there was a little edge to it in the same way there was an Avril. Like
It was
I
like
can
all
see I
pop.
can see that path. I could
Michelle
bullshit
Branch
that path.
also. Yeah, Michelle Branch.
Michelle Branch, absolutely. Yes, I see that.
She fucks.
Jason.
Oh no.
No, I'm right here. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, mine was specifically Noah and the Whale. I saw them when I was like, I feel like 14 for the first time. But it was like the era of iTunes would have discounted songs every
Oh,
week,
there we
like
go.
for the 49-cent song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought like I would always ask for iTunes gift cards for my birthday and for Christmas. And I would usually go to like what's the on sale song this week. And both Frightened Rabbit, it was Swim Until You Can't See Land. And then Noah and the Whale, ironically, I do not remember which one of their songs I ended up buying. But it was like it was one of it was before 5 Years Time became like the commercial song, you know. I knew them before they were cool. Um, it's like the one instance. But I bought those two on the same day, and I never turned back from either of those bands. And seeing them live, like seeing the violin in person, my first thought was like, I gotta fucking learn violin. But I did not. And
Learn the
instead,
next closest instrument, which is vote.
right, yeah,
There you go.
yeah. So
That
that's most direct.
That's the most beautifully like mid to late 2000s thing I've ever heard in my life. Like I legitimately like got goosebumps as you told that. I'm like 14, like you were a pretty cool 14-year-old. And I'm like, oh, it was like the iTunes. That makes sense. Like there, especially like at the time, like so much of that was kind of crossed
You
over
were
to that
finding those
world, you
blogs.
know?
Curated for you, yeah. And there were so many, so many music blogs too. Like that was the thing about like that period of time where like my middle school and high school experience was all like Tumblr and kind of like music blogs that I found through the people that I was following on Tumblr. And then it's like, oh, I'm finding music that no one's ever heard before. I have to tell
That's
people
so
about
cool.
it. Sorry, our cat is headbutting us from the back. So
You're good. You're good.
oh,
Um, I well, obviously, like I have so many favorite drummers, but I definitely wanted to play the drums. I wanted to be a musician when I was like very young. Me and my brother took piano lessons when I was 5. And my dad really influenced me. Like his music really influenced me. Like Neil Young and things like that. I really remember like listening to at a vividly. I vividly remember listening to at a very young age. And I was just reflecting back on. I was just thinking back. And just trying to like I just remember what's crazy is like I remember I really got into I really started to think drumming was really cool when I was in about first grade hearing this hearing Justin Timberlake beatbox on the
Sick.
NSYNC records. I thought those beats like I knew he was beatboxing but just like I was just like, I just thought that was so like those grooves, you know, and those records too. I know they're like pop and whatever, but literally pop. Get it? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the name of one of the records. But literally those records, like first grade, I just remember. And then I also grew up like I grew up not going to Warped Tour. I grew up going to like concerts like of Christian artists. My parents like that's just what I grew up with. So I grew up
Christcore
seeing
kid.
like Toby Mac and
Oh shit.
Pillar is a great like almost like hardcore adjacent Christian band.
Mhm.
Their drummer currently plays on the Kelly Clarkson show. But
that's
I
cool.
just remember seeing those shows. Yeah, Lester Estelle. I just remember seeing a lot of bands like that when I was younger, Audio Adrenaline, like just crazy stuff that like it didn't really matter what I was looking at. Like I knew what I want. I knew that that's like what I wanted to do. So the names, the faces like are really not like irrelevant. They definitely played a part, but they're so peripheral to just like
What the overall objective was.
just seeing a live band with people and I don't I yeah, I think that those are and for me, yeah, again, like I was listening to in like first grade, I was listening to like The Far Side. That's like another one of my earliest memories is listening to The Far Side and the Beat Nuts. And just I can't really explain why, but that's just what I was into. I used to come home like when my parents were at work, like first grade, and watch MTV, and watch like Mary J. Blige. I remember listening to "Let Me Blow Your Mind," featuring Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
The music video when I was in first grade, just like seared in my mind. So it's just like
I
these
was
are
in the
just
7th grade and made me feel so fucking old.
Yeah. I just remember coming home. I also, at those same time, I used to come home and watch the Sharon Osbourne show in that same era. So I was just like king of the castle, like coming home and no supervision and that sort of.
But most 6-year-olds at that point were going home and watching Arthur. That was much cooler. You were on
That's
you were on
definitely
you were
what
on a
I was
much
watching.
Here's
cooler
the thing.
you're
Here's
on a
the
much
thing.
cooler
As
path.
a parent, let me tell you, it's actually not cooler. I think Arthur is a great show and a great program. And I can't I actually can't get my daughter to watch Arthur. She doesn't like it. Oh, she doesn't like the Magic School Bus either. And
What?
I'm trying. Oh, she
And she
liked it for a
doesn't think
second,
that
but like,
E.T. is a Disney princess, which hurts.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to sell her on the idea that E.T. is just another Disney princess.
It's worth the sell.
So, but
Shout out, yeah.
so no,
E.T.
she
love.
said Magic School Bus gives her a headache, which is fair. Which is
That
Which
is
is
fair.
valid, so.
Way to be conscious of your own feelings and stimuli.
exactly
Right? Yeah,
But
that's pretty good.
But yeah, obviously, like there's so many drummers and musicians that I love and are inspired by. But I think that's for me is like a deeper, even before that, but even before those times, like that's when it was really cooking in my head and just like clocking to me as something I was very invested in early on.
It's funny you say that about the kids too, because I get it. I literally, Benji, go to your room, brother. My 7-year-old's here, and I wish he would watch
Get in
those
here,
shows.
Benji.
Hi,
Yeah, I
Benji.
wish he would. Yeah, but yeah, Benji will work his way as sometime. Thankfully, he's wearing a shirt now. Normally, brother,
That's good.
brother, you want to say hi? 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 Come on, you want to come say hi on the pod? No, he's too hyped up. Brother, chill out.
You rule, Benji.
Later, brother.
Yeah, don't let
But-
the man get you down,
Yeah.
Benji.
Oh yeah, don't know. He has a very punk rock spirit to him, a little too much. But same with
Okay.
my daughter. It's like I wish she'd watch kid stuff, and she's like Lady Gaga, Chapel Roan. Like she's like, let's listen to Hot
Yeah.
to Go, and I'm like, I don't. I got in trouble because she's watching like Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, and it's like
Right.
the way she's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
she's dancing a certain way, and I'm like, she's 4. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Did you see it on the video? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think.
I'm going through the same thing with my daughter. But here's the thing. Does your 7-year-old have a punk attitude, or do we think punks have more of a
childlike
7-year-old
attitude.
7-year-old attitude?
Wow. You might have dropped 2 or 3 of the most philosophical lines in the history
wondering.
of this show.
I'm-
Yeah, honestly, now that you say that, as
I'm
a
just
former
wondering.
punk kid, the deeper you get into punk rock, the more you're acting like a
I'm
fucking
just wondering.
7-year-old.
Hey, I love the handgun on your shirt. While we're
This
on
is
the
are
topic.
you familiar with the band Camp Trash?
Yeah. Oh God.
So
That's great.
Levi
show.
from Camp Trash was in another band called Poblano, and he got in some trouble for threatening Mitch McConnell. And he has these shirts, and I
We've
bought
all
one.
been there.
Yeah, and it has Poblano is back to finish the job with Mitch McConnell.
Oh,
Nice.
It came in the mail like 10 minutes before we started this. I was like,
Oh,
I'll
that's a
throw
great
that
shirt.
on.
I
That
think
goes
Mitch
really hard, yeah.
McConnell's back to finish the job with Mitch McConnell.
Yeah,
I don't think I
there's
needed
levels to
another
that.
reason to love that band, but that is yet another reason for add it to the list.
Yeah, I
truly
love
one
that.
of my favorite, one of my favorite indie bands.
Yeah, out of this world.
Absolutely. Speaking of like coming up in the DC scene in general, like who are some of the bands that you guys played with that you were inspired by? Like who was in the scene at the time you were coming up?
Oh, I don't think that anyone I don't think that he would ever say this, but but I don't think that DC music would be what it is without David Combs. I think that like so he previously was in Bad Moves that quite heartbreakingly broke up this past year. Or like started on their individual projects or focusing on individual spaces. But David Combs absolutely revitalized this scene. Like maybe single-handedly brought it back with their efforts, and that I don't know. I don't think that DC exists without David as an individual. And David does Dim Wizard now. That is absolutely incredible.
And if you go even further back in time, David Combs was also Spoon Boy and then part of the Max Levine Ensemble, all of which was happening from like the early 2000s until today. Max Levine Ensemble literally has a show in like a few weeks that is going to be their last show.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
I grew up in Texas and I knew of the Max Levine Ensemble and like was trying to figure out a way that I could get to the East Coast to see them. And then after college, when I joined the music like community in DC, like talking to Miri and then running into David, I was like, oh my God, I've been listening to this person for years. And I was in Texas. So the fact that I just ran into this person the first time, I was both terrified and really excited. Was that?
Yeah, if the Red Hot Chili Peppers are the reason I started playing bass, then David Combs and the Max Levine Ensemble are the reason that I entered the punk space in DC specifically and wanted to make that my life.
Cool.
And that was the first DIY show, like basement show I ever went to in DC was the Max Levine Ensemble opening up for the Bananas, which I don't know if they're like super well known, but if you don't know the Bananas, check them out too. They're really fucking
I'll
sick.
have to check out the Bananas. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first like punk show I ever went to in the city. I was in 8th grade, and that like just the energy there, the values on display there, the way that like everybody was having a real good time and making sure that they felt good while also taking care of the space and the people around them. I was like, oh, okay, this is music that not only like feels good to listen to in the way that I like listening to music on like CDs and the radio, but it also like feels cool to be a part of this. And so like that changed my life and is the reason that I wanted to be in a band and not even just to like to start a band to go to like record albums that would then be lauded, but to join a band to play shows like that where I could just form communities and we could meet people of like minds and we could look out for each other and have music as the vehicle to do so.
Sick. Give me 30 seconds real quick. Sorry.
You think? Intermission.
How you guys doing?
Doing good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. I missed you guys too.
That just made me really happy when you started talking about your daughter.
Yep. Me too.
You know,
I'm
it's
like,
interesting you say that about like a local scene thing because yeah, like you think of influences and you're like, oh, people, you know, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, you know, like Blink-180, whatever this, you know, these big bands or obscure indie things like that, you know, like you want to be cool, this or that. But like I made this post on Instagram a month or so ago and it was about actually, you know, going to those shows where they were religious and they'd make you pray at them kind of thing. And I kind of I mentioned a couple fake bands, like I made up one, and then I mentioned this other one, God Omen, because when I was 14 years old in Alberta, Canada, I went to a local show and there was a post-hardcore band, God Omen, that played. And like, I wasn't a religious kid, but I had never seen it. That was the show that I remember being like, we could do that. You know what I mean? I want to do this and that. And he actually, like, I'm 36 now. I haven't spoken to him. And he actually saw it. He commented, like, that's so weird. I was in a band called God Omen. We played church basements. I'm like, brother, yeah. I saw you. You changed my life. You're kind of
my life,
right? Yeah, you kind of set me here, brother. I should have went to school or something, man. Like, you're the reason I live in an apartment. Like, So you speaking of the church stuff, let's take it the total other way. I know you guys are pretty politically active and the like. Mosh Madness is one thing I've seen come up as well, and just Palestinian stuff. How important is, kind of remaining involved and doing what you can to shine a light on stuff important to you, as opposed to, shut up and play
I
kind of mindset?
Sorry, you go ahead. I see it was what drives this whole thing.
Yeah, it is inseparable from the machine that we are operating. You cannot divest those two things. You cannot separate them.
Sick.
I don't think, like, I mean, all of us obviously love making music. We love the thing that we do together. What we're lucky. Okay, sorry, I'll speak for me. I'm lucky that I get to do this with my best friends in the whole entire world. And I don't take that for granted. And not to
No.
minimize it, but it is really, I think I can speak for all of us and say equally important to all of us that not only are we like, it's one thing to talk about things in spaces where like we are lucky enough, especially for our DC shows, to be able to play for like upwards of 450 people. And when you're in a room like that, I personally believe that you have the obligation to use that time to speak to people about what you care about. And if one person, like something that we've talked about is like at most of our shows, we're aware that most of the people in our crowds agree with like and are on the same page with the political messaging, with like advocating for any given group of people that is suffering. And we're pretty sure that most of the people who come out to see us like are on that same level and care about the same things. But
Yeah.
something that we like to talk about is like you can say it's an echo chamber all you want, but being able to be in a room like that and have someone who has a microphone, you don't have them, like you don't have one, so you can't say it. But if you are watching someone with a microphone say something like that, it might give someone else even more courage to go into the next room that
Yes.
they're in and say that exact same shit and feel more comfortable saying it. Um, and I think like it's something that all of us, we're all so thankful. We know how lucky we are to be able to be in front of people who give a shit about the things that we have made artistically and creatively and emotionally. But that needs to have some other kind of impact. Like it can't just be about what you're proud you and your friends could create. Those spaces are such a good opportunity to make actual change where you can, especially when all of our communities are dealing with financial instability, with food scarcity, right? Like every single person in these rooms is is a victim of poverty and of capitalism. And when you're able to talk about it, I think that it just brings like there can be a lot of shame for me as an individual. Like I'll speak only for me, where I don't have a lot of money. So it is very, very difficult for me as Mel to give $2,000 to Palestinian relief efforts, right? That is near impossible for me financially. But when all of us believe the same things and we all believe that there needs to be some kind of change, yeah, we're gonna make sure that those shows that also has a separate purpose from just like, you know, some kind of self-satisfying end goal of, oh, you get to watch me and you get to listen to me and I get to feel special. That's great. Uh, but if we don't use that to also do something else with that time, I don't think that this band matters. If we don't incorporate our own beliefs into where that money is going, and where that time is spent.
Well, because that's where the art comes from, and you can't separate it from that. All the art we make comes from the experiences that we have lived. And like, I can only speak for myself and Mel because I know Mel very well. Like, we are products of poverty and of trauma. You know what I mean? Generational trauma. And like that a lot of the times has come from poverty or is a symptom of the poverty
Mhm.
that we came up in. And so like, yeah, you can't separate the art we make from that, even if it's not directly about that. You know, we're speaking about, or you are speaking about maybe your like personal experiences, but it's like, it's all colored by the fact that like, that, that the whole situation we came up in is fucked. And like, and that can't be ignored.
And if we can have like a sliver of a chance to change like one person's life, or like not even change but just impact a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it is long and short. I do think it's inseparable. I don't think we would be a band if we felt that we couldn't speak about the things that we believe in.
I think it's like almost like a tax or something you're describing it as, kind of like which it makes it sound like it's a nuisance, but it's like, this is what you owe. Like, this is your duty as the performer. Like, I'm given this platform. You are like, I need to do something morally, like I need to do something ethically correct here to make up for the fact that like I'm basically getting
What I
paid
want
to
is
sing
your
and dance around
attention.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And I mean,
I
like,
literally have your attention. It would be irresponsible to not use it for something
Exactly.
good.
Yeah. And it's this is going to sound cynical, like on the surface. I don't mean it cynically, because I don't necessarily think that being selfish is inherently bad all the time. And I think that's a very important distinction to make. I think a lot of people should be more selfish more often. But I do believe that like if we didn't, I don't know, music is a selfish business. You are centering yourself. You know, whether you're in a band, whether you're a solo act, like you are desiring attention for whatever you are doing and creating. I think that art can be inherently selfish. And again, not selfish like bad connotation, but it is about
No,
you, you know.
I know exactly. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I have something special to say. You know, like you
Yeah.
should. Yeah, they're at the. Yeah, it's not doesn't, but to some degree at the bottom of it. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So I think that every artist, like if you're capable, you know, has an obligation to make sure that like, and I think it's really important to make a distinction between like the aesthetics of belief versus the action of belief. Because I think that I think that people caught on to the fact that like the world is turning and a lot of people are searching for leftist bands to support. I think that some people caught on to that. And I think that there is a difference between performing leftism and actualizing leftism.
Yes.
And I think that we try to keep ourselves accountable. Again, like we're all best friends. So it's easier that way, where like we can call one another out on things and we can make sure that we're staying like not just on message for a marketing perspective, but like on message for us as human beings who have that belief system. So
Yeah.
Must be difficult feeling like this and being so like passionate about it and like living in the midst of the fucking in the same city as the worst, you know, the worst regime in recent American history, kind of like it's happening
Whatever
in
do
like
you
your
mean?
literal backyard. You see it, like it has to be like
This is
just
why the
right.
DC music scene is what it is and has been since the 80s. It's a direct correlation actually that this is happening in our backyard, and the reason that we feel the need to be so loud about it, it is yeah.
And the
There's been
reason we
truth
don't
in
have a
Bad Brains, there's been
backyard.
truth in Fugazi. Go ahead.
Jay,
I
you were
said,
saying
and the
something.
reason we don't. I said, and the reason we don't have a backyard.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You kind of ruin my timing, but yeah.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. I have a friend who lives there now and she works there and it's just like I can live in a bubble out here. I'm in LA. Like it's nice. Everyone feels this way, but everything's fake. But like
LA
being in the
is
midst
dark.
of
LA
it.
has a dark energy.
Yeah, I feel you. Yes. The dark energy is originally what drove me here, and the dark energy is why I can't fucking leave. It traps you. I would avoid it. If anyone's watching this thinking about moving to Los Angeles, change your mind.
Jason goes
But
back
coming
and
from
forth
Texas,
between
though, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you?
It's dark. Dark energy.
I get it. So obviously, we prefer DC over your time here.
I didn't say that.
There are
Everything's
dark
terrible.
places in all corners of the country.
That's right.
Sick.
That's right. What's your obsession with Mountain Dew about?
I don't, I don't know what it is. I can remember the first time I had one when I was
it's
a kid.
nostalgia. Yeah.
But it's like, it's not even nostalgia. It's like, I've just always drank it my whole fucking life. I
Let me
don't know
explain
why.
something to you. Let me explain something to you. The dopamine in your brain when you're young, what it does is it actually permanently changes your brain. It doesn't go
Yes.
back. It's not a temporary thing. So it's
I'm like
this,
perma-fried for the
yes.
dew base. Yes, this is because like it's not a caffeine thing. It's not a sugar thing. It's like, I know I need the Mountain Dew. Like, I need the green this, and it's so fucking weird. And I've always been like,
from the mountains.
like I enjoy a coffee.
Yeah.
you,
That
like,
dew has never
were
been
you
to
a
a
big-
mountain.
Were you a big gamer when you were younger?
No,
Like,
no, not at all. Never. Which is because like when I'm in like the late 90s. The reason I found Mountain Dew is the X Games were in San Diego, and I lived in San Diego, and they were like, they were advertising, they're handing it out, and like it's like someone handing out free cigarettes. I was 7 years old, I got a free soda.
Yeah.
Oh brother, that dude paid for like that entire fucking trip, and the expenses were paid off by that one can he gave that one dumb little fucking kid on the bike.
Yeah.
Like that. No, I gaming honestly as this is the lamest shit I'm ever gonna say. For a while, I was very upset that Mountain. Like, I was like, "Why is it branded as this gaming thing?" It was like like skateboarding and like punk rock, outdoorsy thing, and it became like the game or Dorito thing. I'm like, no, fuck, don't mix me in with the Call of Duty kids. Like,
Yeah.
That was the
there's
first thing
anything
I
wrong with
thought.
that. No, never.
The way
Never.
I actually want Mountain Dew right now.
Yeah.
This whole conversation's taking a turn for me.
Honestly, I should
Also-
take this shit down until they give me some money. I've given them a lot of money. They should,
true.
They should
no
pay
free
the fuck up,
advertising.
honestly.
It's all I'm thinking about right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, we
We're gonna
have
have to
the
talk
same
after this.
Kerosene Heights flag in our we have it over in our room.
Sick. Yeah. No, I saw them last week, and I was just like, I went back. I was like, I have to get the flag. I'm not normally a flag guy, And I was like, I can
Same.
have
Yeah.
one. That's one. I'm not kneeling for that one. I'll tell you that much.
Well, when they came to DC, Miri I think was working, but I went out to see them. I got one round of merch, and then I was like, wait, I didn't get anything for Miri. I have to go back, and I left with probably
So
7
thoughtful.
things. Where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get one of each of these things, except for vinyl because I can't afford vinyl right now.
Yeah.
But I just got like one of each after to be like, okay, my wife will have what she wants either way.
It's
Whatever I
either,
bring
it's
home.
either like
My
half
lives.
vinyl or 3 shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. So
Yeah, we love
obviously
kids.
they put out a great record this year.
Cool.
You guys put out a great record this year. We're coming towards the end of the year, and it's about to be bullshit list season. I'm getting it on bullshit list season. But personally, what are some of your favorite new records of the year been? What is playing on the Pretty Bitter playlist? What's on your
What's
burnt
came out this
CDs?
Cool Kids they're my all-time favorite band. I genuinely like musically, lyrically, they can do no wrong for me. Jason and I actually went to go see their show when they were on tour for
Yeah, front
Easier
row.
Said Than Done. Yeah, in DC. I'm never getting over that band. I think
No, they
that
rock.
Easier Said Than Done is like, well, it's also their self-titled was I genuinely didn't think that could be beat. And then like that was my number one since it came out. And then when Easier Said Than Done came out,
when was the self? Was that like it's like 2020, 2021 era right there or so?
like
Maybe.
yeah, 2021, 2022.
Okay, yeah, around there. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of too. Yeah.
Yes.
Would you open it for me?
Yes.
Because I just want to make sure that this album came out this year, but I'm pretty sure it did. Fucking Friendship,
Oh, it did.
right?
It did.
Caveman Wakes Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just really bad at time. I'm bad at remembering what time it is
It's a
and
loose,
what year it
yeah.
is. So like when you ask me what records came out this year, it's already almost December. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Friendship, Caveman Wakes Up came out this year, and I have been listening to that ever since it came out. So
I
Scarlet
haven't
Street,
heard that.
no alternative. Also,
yes.
Oh, one of those
Scarlet
comments I read you earlier was from Scarlet Street. Yeah,
Oh,
that no alternative record. What the I told him, I was like, this is
yeah.
my feel bad album of the year, you know?
they're
Like it's
special. They are special people, and they are special musicians. That is that record is a 10 out of 10 for me.
yes. I'm the same way. I will ride or die for those guys. Yeah, huge Scarlet Street fan.
What about you, Jason?
Me? Well, I don't really. I can't really think about too much that came out this year. I could be way off, but I've been listening to a lot of Leisure Hour, and they just dropped Happy Birthday. That's not an
Right.
album though, but that's a great song, and I know it came out this year.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, I'm from Virginia, so I hate to pivot, but the Clips album
There we
is
go.
something we like
Yeah.
stand
Yeah.
on out
Yeah.
here. Like God sort them out. So that was absolutely fire.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the Justin Bieber album that came out.
Pretty good. The first
These
one, right? Because
are-
he did a second one, right?
He did both of them. There, I didn't mind them. They can at least be background music. Like I didn't mind them. But yeah, the Calypso album. And that's sort of like not to like I don't want to derail the conversation from like bands that we love and like
No, I'm
indie
so happy you
hardworking
brought up Clips because no one is.
non-millionaires, but yeah,
I am such a.
that
Pusha
album
T
is
Pusha T is my favorite rapper. Yeah,
that album is so fucking good. So and it came out right around the time of our album came out.
Yeah.
So or like a little before our album. So I just remember I was with my friends and we were listening to both our album and the Calypso
You're
album.
like just balancing
in the
between
same
please. You're
listening
like
session.
sort them out. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't shuffle them, but we listened to them in the same couple of hours, and
Sick.
both work. Both are great albums.
Mel, Miri, No Malice. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
they all
that's
go.
right,
All
exactly.
blends. Yeah,
Literally.
there we go. That's I same. I'm working on my bullshit end of the year list, and I'm like, the Clips one is really going to be the one that throws people off. But objectively speaking, you cannot leave this
So
off.
good.
You're
No,
not-
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah. You can't leave it off.
No.
I
Not
have-
this-
I see like a lot of hip hop like rappers as like characters, kind of in a way, like where it's like each has like like it's almost like a gimmick, so like this and that.
Right.
With Pusha
Or
T, it's
especially-
like it's like when I listen to it, it's like I wish I was driving around right now in like a rented Lexus with like a trunk full of cocaine and like
Hey, hey, Rob. No one's saying you couldn't be.
honestly, yeah.
No.
Benji,
No
when's
one's
your mom
stopping
picking you
you.
up, brother? Yeah. We're
No
going to the
one's
Hertz. I'm too close to the border. There's I don't know. I'm too nice. I wouldn't be great at drug dealing, honestly. I'd be like,
Oh, that's right.
pay me later, like, oh, you don't have. I don't know.
No, like,
I'd be
Yeah,
doing the
yeah.
same. I'd be
You
doing
want the
mutual aid
promo.
with it, and that's some Ronald Reagan shit. Yeah, that
Yeah,
it
that's
wouldn't-
right.
Yeah,
Where are you
And the
based out of?
mutual aid
I
drug
missed that.
dealer.
I'm in Woodland Hills, LA. Valley.
Okay. Yeah, I know Woodland Hills real well.
You
That's cool.
also
Good for
spend
you.
your time in the valley when you're out here.
Yeah, my friend Jojo lives in Woodland Hills.
Oh, sick! I'm right off Topanga Canyon in beautiful Woodland Hills. The
Dark
one
energy.
weirdly the one like kind of MAGA corner of LA. It's kind of fucked up actually.
Yeah.
I didn't even know those existed over there.
They got some
Oh,
crazy
oh.
billboards over there. I was just in LA for the first time on tour, and like I had never been there before, but just seeing the billboards driving down the freeway, I was like, "Who lives here?"
Like which ones? Like the weird religious ones?
Yeah, like reject the Trinity. Like that felt anti-Catholic. I was like, "What? I thought that was the prevailing belief in this country.
No, see, that's the religion.
Yeah.
The Trinity or the rejection of the Trinity is the religion.
The rejection of it. It's the
Ooh.
same
Okay.
it's the same intensity. It's the same. What's the difference? Listen,
Right, yeah.
accept it, reject it.
I grew up void
Whatever.
of religion, so I'm always very curious when either of these two.
I grew up Jewish.
Yes, I was like, there was no religion, so it's like I'd like learn them, like I'd take it in from
Yeah.
other people, and
Yeah.
just be like, oh, that's neat that you believe. Like I was in a band for a long time with like a Mormon, like a guy that grew up Mormon. I'm just like,
I don't
you did
know.
what? Like tell me more. Like I'm not making fun of you. I legitimately want to know more about the magic underwear thing. Like
I'm just asking questions and then laughing.
I'm just
at the
asking
answer.
questions, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's funny, it's funny. That's objectively, it's not my
Well,
fault.
that's it. It's yeah.
So before we wrap up, back to the new record, and compared to the last one, obviously there's a difference with membership changes and things like that. But what was the general recording process of this one? Is this something that was kind of cohesively put together in the studio with you guys? Was this more of like, do you feel like this is so much more of a collaborative effort than the last one?
So this one was done, I mean, because every like Hinges was done completely remotely, where we were kind of like banking on the horrifying emotion that was lockdown. But this one was we're very, very lucky to have met Simon Small and Evan Weiss, just kind of like a very momentary like blip in time, right place, right time, that we got to
That's
meet
right.
Evan, and then went to Chicago. We recorded a split with a DC band called Flower Bomb in early 2024. One of my favorite bands in the entire world. Best people. But
Yep.
we went to Chicago for the first time to record our split with them, with Evan and Simon, and then that was like, again, I can only speak for me, but I felt like I was in school again, like for this exact craft. Like
Yeah.
I felt like I was being challenged in a way that I had never been challenged, and I felt like I was being asked to do things and try things that I would never think to try on my own. So we decided to go back for this album, but they worked with us in a really cool way. So it was a little bit hodgepodge, like the process before. So we had Jason recorded drums here, or in Virginia, in Maryland. I apologize. In a studio called The Hangar, with Felix. What's Felix's last name?
Nieto. There it is. Right in the middle of those two.
Yeah, it was close.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
my boy. I do
Jason-
all my drums with him. So
Sick.
So Jason recorded in an old airplane hangar with Felix, where Felix runs his studio. And then a lot of the instrumentals were recorded in this apartment, just in Miri's.
Over there.
In the bedroom over there is just a little like makeshift studio that we have set up. And then we sent everything to Evan and Simon. Miri, our friend Drew from a Texas band called Nervous. Drew wrote the 9th track on the record with me when I was back home for a little bit. So Drew came with us to Chicago, and it was basically just the three of us, like doing vocals, but then doing like redoing guitar parts, redoing bass parts, because they have this incredible collection of pedals and mechanics that I could spend hours and hours just listening to them talk about.
And I got to play Simon's guitar.
Yeah.
That
Oh my God.
it's such a
Oh, it's
beautiful
so
guitar.
beautiful.
So beautiful.
So we went to Chicago, and we ended up just recording like all vocals there, and then redoing certain bass parts, and long story short, very collaborative though. Like it was a lot more in-person writing. It was a lot more like talking about what we wanted to achieve, as much as we could in person. And then honestly, like Evan and Simon, their involvement on on like the in the moment changes that you want to make when a vocal melody isn't as interesting as you want it to be, or like something needs a little something special. They were very good at not doing the okay, sing it just like this, and giving notes, but more being like, hey, here's a feeling. Obviously you're feeling this, talking about it, so show me that when you're doing this take. Like, show me what you're feeling and what you're talking about. And it was more collaborative, I feel like, and we brought in new people for Pleaser, which just made it really invigorating. As
The other
as a
thing that
process.
the other influence that Evan and Simon had, I think that really like helped and changed the game was they were really challenging on us on the parts of songs that were like redundant, so to speak. It's like
Okay.
it feels like you've already got this feeling across in the last verse. Is this necessary, or can we truncate this into a more like I don't know, I hate to use this phrase, but like radio friendly / like pop structure. And honestly, that like it's like I don't hate to use that phrase. I feel like I say I hate to use that phrase, but I don't, because it really helped us kind of like figure out exactly what we were trying to get across on this album. And it's not, we weren't doing it for radio. It was just so that it was more complete of an idea.
Yeah.
And then it ends up being just like more pop friendly that way.
Yeah, more palatable, more to the point.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
right.
like, really, like,
That's a good way to
reducing
say
them
it.
and stripping it so, like, every part, like, serves, like, gets the song somewhere. We're not just going back because it's like, that was the fun verse. You're supposed to do that here.
Yeah.
Also, I am a wordy writer. And I've always known this. Like, I come from a degree in poetry, so it's very much
There we
like,
go.
and my favorite poetry is prose poetry, which makes it worse. So like I'm
Kinda
a
going,
very
yeah.
right, like
I have to remind them that songs sometimes rhyme.
and I'm a little bit like
Benji like that one.
listen, I'm getting closer, but I am of the belief that I think it's fun when things don't rhyme because people expect it to always rhyme, but it
Yeah,
can't be
you can
always.
really play with
Can't be,
people's expectations.
can't be always.
Beautiful. It's funny you mentioned, like, recording some of it, like, in the room and stuff like that, because it's like, it sounds so fucking lavish at times like that. I'm like, it sounds like a massive, big budget record, you know? Like, I figure, this and that, at least what worked in these big studios or, whatever. And it's like, oh, we did some of it here in our bedroom. We did this, the living room,
I
where,
also
hangar.
I wish that you could see too, like the studio, Type 1 Studios in Chicago, where we recorded the vocals and then like certain guitar and bass parts, is smaller than our apartment, like far, far smaller. I mean, it is maybe like it's a teeny little hallway, walk through a different door, teeny little hallway, for recording. Yeah, so it's like all of these, like when it sounds big, it is credit to Evan and Simon for taking all those pieces of all of our small rooms, plus then Jason's gigantic room, gigantic beautiful room,
Yeah.
and making those sound as cohesive as they did. Because we we just we couldn't sing their praises enough. They're incredible musicians and producers, but even better people.
But
That's
that's
right.
also, I think, the through line of this band is that like we have been DIY since the start, and like, but the goal is not to sound like we're DIY. That's always been kind of the
Mhm.
thing.
I was gonna say it works really. It's like, because I associate since the first time I've heard of you guys, like, I associate you with this DIY scene, this and that. It's like, oh, the record sounds so, like, sound like a band that should be like playing the whatever, like the cool radio stations weenie roast or whatever they are. I'm like, this is, but it's like, okay, they straddle that line really well. There's a lot of it comes down to like ethics and how you carry yourself as a band and stuff like that. But doesn't mean the record needs to sound like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And we've been very fortunate to just like run into people who, for one reason or another, become invested in whatever we're doing. And we again are very, very fortunate for that. And we're lucky that those people have skills that we do not have. Because especially with Zach leaving, because Zach is his career is he is a therapist. So
Okay.
there's something a little bit more like not just, oh, I have to work so I can't go on tour. It's like people are relying on me for their health. And that just gets to a point where it's
Me.
not
No, I'm just kidding.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left his patients here to go deal with his patients there. But especially with Zach leaving, that's the kind of thing where Zach had that knowledge. You know, Zach is a brilliant producer, but didn't have the time at a certain point and had patients who relied on him to stay alive. And that is more important. So it's really wonderful when we come across people who do have that skill set that none of us can really like. I couldn't produce an album for shit if I tried my absolute hardest. So it's the kind of thing where it's like we just we're lucky to have come into contact with the people that we have at the time that we have, and be able to work with them through these bigger steps.
That's sick.
That's right.
There's a lot of like community and like, I guess you'd be
Yeah.
praising everyone else. I think, someone needs to tell you that the band in general, y'all are very good. Like
Thank
a lot of
you.
it also comes down to performance and songwriting and the like, and as a whole, it's just a step above, I think, a lot of other bands in this general world right now. And that's no offense to other bands. It's just like, this sounds like this should be recommended in a different world. This would be like, I think I said, I was like, in a different world, this would be getting like an 8.2 on Pitchfork, like back in the day when like that was cool and stuff like that. So obviously you guys have a connection to all the songs, songs are your babies. They're your kids. Which of the songs individually is your favorite? Who's your favorite kid?
Oh.
Yeah, you go for it.
Mine is I Hope You Do. I don't know. Miri and I, there is a version of it. If people are like have made it this far, there is a version of it that is 9 minutes long, I think.
Wow.
That is from 7. No, it would have been 8 or 9 minutes.
Really?
I'm almost positive. It is online somewhere, and it is from a side project that Miri and I did like 7 years ago. And
Extra Terra.
no, why would you? You're a federal search.
I'm going to the band camp. Yeah.
But it is. I'm just really proud of like thinking back to when that song was written and like initially written, and we made so many edits. It doesn't even sound like the same thing anymore. But I'm so proud of where that one turned up. With all of the time that we got to sit with it. Because the rest of them, like we pretty much wrote for this record. But that one was one that we were like, you know what, there's something here. We just need to refine it. So we brought back a very, very old thing that no one had ever listened to. And even the people who had heard it, I don't think realized that it was the same song, which was cool to me.
I think my answer is gonna be my favorite child on this album is probably Tommy Deluxe Goes Hollywood. Just because for me, I think I really challenged myself as a musician and instrumentalist with that song. I don't know, I just that guitar riff. I had the notes in my head, and then I had to teach myself how to play it. And it came together like way quicker than I thought it did, and it sounded way better than I thought it did. And it was a really cool testament to me personally as like cool. Like you can challenge yourself to do something that is maybe outside of your comfort zone, and it's still gonna end up exactly how you want it.
I was just listening to Tommy the other day, and I love that part. It's like when we're coming back in for the third verse, it goes, I can't exactly remember it, but it's like the 3, the guitar comes in, the 4, the bass comes in, and then the 1, I come in. It's
Yeah.
like, or it might be the other way around. I might have had it backwards, but it might be the bass, then the guitar, then the drums. But like the way, if you really listen and you hear that, boom, it's like so slick.
Yeah.
But I like Tommy a lot too. I like playing it a lot too. I like making him play it really fast.
Yeah,
That's the thing where sometimes I'll look backwards at Jason and be like, dude, was it perfect? I can sing that.
It's fine. I honestly but I really like Coroner song. I really like Mel's line where it's like I didn't die to prove something. I just thought that there was more. I just like listen to that's a great song. It's a great song.
That's
But
the
I
song that
like Thrill Eater too. I like I Hope You Do Too. And what's the ninth track with Nervous? I love playing that one live. That one's sick.
Textbook, but you just
Textbook, that's
picked
right.
half of the album as your favorite child.
Yeah,
Right,
whatever.
All the
Whatever.
kids.
Yeah. I really enjoyed playing that one live. I kind of like took that second verse to just go dumb. Really, it was pretty fun. But if I had to pick one, I would either join Miri with Tommy Deluxe Goes Hollywood or Coroner song. But I mean, I listen to the album all the time, and I don't usually do that. Like I don't usually do that, but I listen to the whole album, so like just whenever. So
Sick. Last question for you guys. What does 2026 hold for Pretty Bitter here? Do we have any plans already? What is our bucket list for the year, our plans?
We are recording our third record.
well, first,
Near the end of the year. But we also have a ton of touring that we get to talk about soon, hopefully.
officially,
Yeah, not officially announced, but it is the something that we will say it's the longest run we have ever done. And we're really, really excited for the people that we get to do it with.
Very
And
cool.
then
Are these? You could double blink me if I'm out of place. Are these? Is this a band that you're friends with, excited to go on the road with, or someone maybe you looked up to, or something like that?
People we have,
bit of both.
yeah, people we have run into before, people that we have run into at one specific place in the Midwest a couple times. And we're just excited to get to know them better through that experience. I feel like
I'm gonna be like that Charlie Kelly meme later on, like connected, going through all your socials. I'm like, Midwest. Who do they know? And which one could it be?
Where
There's
have
so
you
many,
been?
Right, like
you're just cranked up on Mountain Dew,
Right,
just going nuts.
we're shot at
Get
him.
get this guy a cigarette.
Right? Yeah. Sorry, one last one for you real quick here. DMV musicians, personally, individually, as a group, answer this however you'd like. Who do you believe is the quote unquote, which I love asking such a politically leftist band this question, because inherently it's like, fuck these guys, but who is your Mount Rushmore of the DC area?
Oh,
You don't just got to pick dead old white guys. You can pick whoever you want. You get to build the mountain.
Bands or musicians, like
Whoever you want. Yeah, this is like, it's like a
Oh.
Rorschach test. You answered however you'd like.
okay. Flower Bomb has to be on there. Flower Bomb is
David
one
Combs
face.
definitely has to be on.
Yeah. David Combs as one face. Flower Bomb as one face.
I think you can't have the DC Mount Rushmore also without Ian MacKaye, unfortunately, no matter how you feel about him. He's there.
Well, are we talking about like currently active though, or are we talking about all time? 'Cause that's
Well,
different.
I mean, if we're talking,
I think currently
Ian-
active is better.
the Ian MacKaye thing, though, like the scene that is currently active and the culture that prevails is still a remnant of the culture that Fugazi put in place.
That is true.
So
So
I
in the
don't know.
most
That's why
literal
that's there. I
sense,
think
yeah,
he's got
he
to be
would
there
be-
no matter how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do a whole hour on just people I love in DC, but mine will be Flower Bomb and David Combs, and then if Ian MacKaye, Jason, throw on two more.
My urge to say Thomas Jefferson is so high. I don't fucking know, man. I think everyone's just doing great. Just keep doing your thing, you know. I don't fucking care. I don't know.
Okay,
There we go.
I'll add a couple more.
It's
Fucking
my favorite answer
characters.
we've ever gotten on that. I fucking love that.
I feel like the implication of the question being about Mount Rushmore, I think that it's not about just active bands currently. I think this is a historical question. No,
It's
No,
like
yeah,
talking
it's just
about the bands of DC.
Well, yes.
I could do a whole hour on just people I love who make music in this city.
Yo, if we're
Music
talking
and-
about the future of this city's music, also somebody's daughter.
Somebody's daughter
Somebody's daughter.
is fucking crazy.
Interesting.
to
I
see
don't think
live.
I know this band.
Nobody does yet. They are very, very new. They don't have recordings out yet, but I just saw them
They do.
at a very small show the other day, and we actually they will have some recordings out soon.
Sick. Okay, because I'm like, what a fucking tease. You're like, oh, this is the future. I'm like, oh, I better write down. I better go check it out. And you're like, actually, you just
Typical
gate
Miri
kept the
fashion.
shit out of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that was low key fucked up. Like,
Sorry.
Oh, Pink House. Dude, Pink House is in Spring Silver. Pink House and Spring Silver are
Oh, Spring Silver is definitely on that Mount
Dorinda.
Rushmore.
Dorinda.
Yes.
That's right.
Reed. Yeah.
Yeah.
there we go. I like this. I like that your mountain is more progressive. There's more people on it. There's probably minimal slave owners on this one as well. Like,
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
and the people have come together to carve it instead of like.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. It
and
wasn't. Yeah, it
to
was
make
ethically sourced. Yeah, the
People are
wasn't
like, we're
built
gonna
on
make it happen together.
beautiful. I think that's. Thank you for joining me. Before you leave, you want to tell the people watching where they find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at prettybitter.mp3. You can find us on Twitter at
Pretty Bitter MP.
prettybitter.mp3, no dot.
dot.
And like most places that you stream music, all places that you stream music, you can find us if you search Pretty Bitter.
Beautiful.
That's
It's
right.
spelled how you think it's spelled.
Yeah,
It's spelled how it's spelled if you can spell.
Yeah, there's nothing weird about this. These are words you've known since you were like 7, 8 years old.
Don't overthink it.
If you can't spell it, you're probably not going to agree with the messaging
You probably
of the
don't
music
have
either.
a computer.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't want the crowd that can't. That's a good gate there to barrier out some people.
That's right.
The only time you will ever be excluded from
The
anything.
only
that we're
time- yeah, right. Yeah, it's the only time. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'm really
Thank you for
excited
having
to
us, Rob.
hear this. I'm so excited to hear this third record
Yeah.
when it comes out. Like seriously, even just today, like getting a few, like throwing in our thing and seeing everyone else get excited for it. It's like, yes, this is a special one. I'm not just saying it because like they're coming on our show. It's like you guys should all. I want to show this to my friends. Like y'all will fuck with this. So
It means a lot. Thanks
Yeah.
so
Really
much for
does.
having us.
Really, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Rob.
I appreciate you. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.